Hello, fellow informaticians. Today we are here for another social informatics discussion. Social informatics analyze the effects informatics or data analytics has had on the society, and we analyze it mostly in its cultural and structural context. Today, we are going to do social media analytics. The first case we studied together was about the effect of data analytics in the field of supply chain management. The second one was healthcare analytics. And the third one was sport analytics. As you can see, the title that we have here is not case study 4 like the previous one. Just to give you more insight regarding the titles that you notice. For example, we say case study, for example, 1, and we discuss the effect of data analytics on supply chain management that we can consider as supply chain analytics. So it is the same as here, and here indirectly I'm trying to convey the fact that you can apply analytics to anything, and because of the power and strength of these techniques, these tools, this approach, usually structural and cultural changes will happen. About the social media analytics, I should tell you that this area, this field is as much important as that in the business analytics or data analytics programs, especially in master level, they have two application-based courses in their program, that is business analytics. One of them is healthcare analytics, and the other one is social media analytics. And also another reference that I can give you about the importance of social media analytics in academia, you can go to book department of Amazon and search for the books, especially with this title, Social Media Analytics. It will bring you tons of books with this title. In the coming slides and in the time that we have together today, we are going to discuss that thing, because now you are to some extent familiar with the fact that how much data analytics or how much informatics is applicable, and you can apply it to everywhere. And these examples and these cases that we discuss in class are just examples. Anything that you use the data that you have over there, and of course you can only use data analytics to the field that over there are abundance of data, and data is cheap. So based on those things, you can get insight, you can make decision making. So it take off some of the responsibilities, or sometimes much of the responsibility, most of the responsibility of the shoulders of human beings, and that's the reason they are this much popular. Okay, so today we are gonna do social media analytics together. I'm sure you already have the definition of social media analytics in your mind, because now you know what is analytics, and you are experienced with social media. So with every details that we have discussed together so far during these weeks in this semester, you should have an idea of what social media analytics is about. But to make it more academic and based on some standard definitions, let's start with this slide. What is media? Because after we know what is media, we can understand social media better. Media is the plural form of medium, but the one that we know in our society is that media. It describes any channel of communication. So any channel of communication between two systems, between two people, between a person and system and anything, it is called media. So you can notice that why it is connected to the topic of IT, information technology. Okay, information technology, if you remember, we discussed it. It was about documentation of information. And now here it says media is any channel of communication. What happens in a channel of communication? Of course, it would be back and forth of information. So see the connection of all the titles, topics in this area. So we are discussing media because media is connected to IT, information technology, and any source of any channel of communication is called media. This can include anything from printed paper, because with a printed paper or even handwritten paper, there are some information, there are some data over there, to digital data, that is the dominant, prevalent way of communication these days. So now you have the definition of media. In general, media refers to television, radio, newspaper, internet, and other forms of communication. So in general, in a standard way, anything that can handle communication back and forth of information is media. And this photo here shows it very well. Media, internet, television, radio, newspaper, magazine, and this type of thing. But what is social media? See, before social media, media always have a company, a system, a person at the head. So they said that, for example, the power is at the hand of the people who control media. And sometimes they are governments, sometimes they are people, sometimes they are companies, sometimes they are um, group of people. But the fact was that only one side of the media generated the content. For example, just assume as very obvious example of media, just consider television. Television, okay, that channel make the program and they broadcast it. They made that thing. But the idea of social media is great. Uh, it's website and applications that enable users to create content. So it is not like that only channel X or only channel Y or only newspaper X, newspaper Y create the content and other people be the consumer. No, everybody, website and applications that enable users to create content and share it. Because not only the fact that in the old years, only very few people were in the control of media, was not only because they were able to create the content, because they have huge infrastructure to broadcast their content. For example, just imagine, for example, there was a radio station, for example, in London, but all the people or many people, for example, in Middle East could hear it when, for example, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So at that time, it was absolutely out of question. A person, a regular person can do such a thing. But social media provide the things that any of us, now that we are doing this class together, tomorrow, just after class, can go and create our content and share it with the world. And it depends on the attention that it gets, that how much it's gonna be viral or not, but you are quite familiar with that thing. So I just tried to tell you the points that maybe add to your understanding of this social media. That's the reason they are this much strong, powerful these days, in a way that you can see the financial success of the people who are managing this, or even they are co-founding, or even just purchasing those platforms. And all these people that you see here are billionaires, and it shows that social media is welcome hugely by the society around the world. So then it has this much being accepted by the society. So you see Facebook, 2 billion 895 million subscribers, and YouTube 2 billion 291 billion, and like that we can go. And for example, WhatsApp 2 billion. So when you have all these things, you have this many subscribers, you have this number of users that they can create content and they can share the content. So what is the first things that strikes you? The huge amount of data is generated constantly for free that no human intelligence can handle and track them. So it seems a perfect area for analytics to step in. So what is social media analytics? It is exactly the part that I told you, with everything that now you know about analytics. For example, supply chain analytics, healthcare analytics, sport analytics, and all those things. You now should have your own definition of social media analytics, because we have the data. Where we get the data from? We get the data from social media, and we do some analysis on them, and all the stories that we have repeated many times together, especially in the previous 3 cases we studied together. So let's check the definition. And all these things are the same, my friends. They are just different interpretation or different wording. So the ability to gather and find meaning in data gathered from social channels to support business decisions. So again, you get the data and you get insight to help better decision making. And remember, the part that you get the data and do the analysis is based on some techniques that we call data analytics. The art and science of extracting hidden insight from vast amount of semi-structured and unstructured social media data to enable informed and insightful decision making.